The social psychologist Daniel Kahneman, who won the Nobel Prize for his pioneering work in this field, said, "We are not thinking machines that feel, we are feeling machines that think." Ponder that for a minute. You are a feeling machine that thinks. Emotions are the very thing that make you a feeling machine. Emotions are created from the interaction of three things. First, your environment. Second, your brain. And third, your body. The process often begins with a thought, an event, or a physical sensation, which sends a signal to your brain and body. Your brain tries to make sense of what's happening by interpreting the stimulus based on your past experiences, beliefs, and culture. At the same time, your body initiates a physiological response. This could take the form of an increase in heart rate, a smile, or tears. The combination of these mental interpretations and bodily responses creates the feelings we recognize as emotions, like fear, joy, anger, or sadness. Here's the sequence for generating an emotion. First, stimulus, an event, thought, or sensation. Second, neural activation through the amygdala, hypothalamus, prefrontal cortex. And third, bodily response through heart rate, hormones, facial expressions. Fourth, interpretation, an appraisal of what the response means. Fifth, feeling, conscious experience of the emotion. Sixth, expression, behavioral response, smiling, laughing, clapping, glaring, trembling, blushing, crying, shouting, hugging. Emotions play a significant role in the human experience, yet most of us were never taught how to recognize, understand, label, or manage our emotions. What a lost opportunity. The more intelligent you become with your emotions, the more you reduce stress, improve your well-being, and increase your overall effectiveness as a human being. Who wouldn't want that? Have you ever had what psychologists call an emotional flooding or hijacking event? This happens when emotion overwhelms cognition. Perhaps you've been overwhelmed with joy or flooded with sorrow. These are often important and meaningful experiences in life. Another example of this would be when you find yourself in an urgent situation or an unsafe environment. When this happens, your brain prioritizes survival through a variety of psychological responses. First, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline are released. Second, heart rate increases. Third, breathing accelerates. Fourth, blood flows from the brain to muscles for a fight or flight response. This physiological response redirects resources away from high-order thinking, like memory, reasoning, and language processing, toward immediate action. This stimulus causes your emotions to spike and can lead to a drop in cognitive capacity. Consider people who call 911. They often forget their full name, forget their address, forget their phone number, struggle to form complete sentences, fail to provide specific details, ask the same question multiple times despite being answered, repeat themselves. The opposite response occurs when the brain believes the environment is safe, secure, or stable, physically and psychologically. Cortisol falls, and chemicals that promote connection and well-being, such as oxytocin and serotonin, rise. Heart rate slows, breathing deepens, and digestion resumes. Blood flow returns to the prefrontal cortex, restoring memory, language, planning, and creativity. People listen better, collaborate more easily, and are generally more open to learning and problem solving. In effect, safety and security allow teams to operate at full cognitive and social capacity. In high-stress situations, the brain adapts to prioritize survival over self-expression, and these physiological responses are appropriate in certain situations. The challenge comes when we display an emotional response that is not appropriate for a situation, when our emotions get the best of us, and we react in a destructive way that makes things worse. For example, have you ever lacked empathy, interrupted someone repeatedly, shut down when your input was important, rolled your eyes in frustration, failed to validate another person's feelings, dismissed someone's idea, snapped rudely in response, ignored someone's contribution in a meeting, became defensive about feedback, failed to listen at a critical time, let your mood affect the whole team, made everything about you, held a grudge instead of resolving conflict, blamed another person when you didn't step up, failed to read the emotional state of another person, gossiped about a teammate's mistake, avoided a difficult conversation, overreacted to minor criticism, refused to apologize, or used sarcasm when sincerity was needed. If emotions play such a central role in our professional and personal lives, how prepared are we to effectively manage them?